Hello, welcome to our channel. Please subscribe for more updates, as we keep you updated with your favorite celebrities. In the ever-evolving world of celebrity headlines and social media drama, few stories strike a chord with such emotional complexity as the lingering narrative between Rihanna and Chris Brown. More than a decade has passed since their violent altercation in 2009, but the shadows of that night continue to loom over their legacies, both individually and collectively. So when news recently broke of Chris Brown's latest run-in with the law, many eyes naturally turned toward Rihanna, wondering if the woman who once bore the brunt of his most infamous controversy would have anything to say. Her silence, however, was resounding, and it spoke louder than any statement ever could. In today's hyper-connected world, silence is often interpreted as a form of communication. Celebrities, who once relied solely on PR teams and press releases, now have direct access to fans and followers through social media platforms. Every like, comment, and Instagram story becomes a form of public relations. In such a landscape, Rihanna's decision to remain silent on Chris Brown's newest legal woes is no accident. It's a deliberate choice, steeped in strength, boundaries, and perhaps quiet wisdom. Rather than offering condolences, judgment, or opinion, Rihanna's absence from the narrative creates space for deeper interpretation. It's not just what she's choosing not to say, but what that choice implies: that she has moved on, that she owes nothing to the past, and that she will not be defined, or confined, by a chapter she has already closed. Chris Brown's post-2009 career has been a stormy ride. Despite continuing to produce music and maintaining a solid fan base, he has been dogged by a series of legal issues, altercations, and accusations that have consistently undermined his talent. His supporters often point to his musical genius, while critics highlight a pattern of behavior that seems troublingly consistent. The latest incident, reportedly involving a physical altercation and possible criminal charges, has reignited public debates about accountability, second chances, and the legacy of abuse. And once again, Rihanna's name has surfaced in think pieces, comment sections, and social media debates. But while the public might be eager to connect her to the drama, Rihanna is no longer interested in being part of that narrative. Rihanna today is not the 20-year-old pop star caught in the crossfire of scandal. She is a global powerhouse, a billionaire entrepreneur, a cultural icon, a beauty mogul, a fashion disruptor, and a mother. Her journey has been one of radical reinvention, healing, and empowerment. She's spoken candidly in the past about the pain, the trauma, and the difficult path to forgiveness and recovery. She even surprised many by reconciling publicly with Chris Brown years ago, calling it her way of achieving personal peace. But reconciliation doesn't mean obligation. Forgiveness is not a free pass to be pulled back into old wounds, especially when those wounds are reopened by someone else's behavior. Rihanna's silence today signals that she has graduated from that chapter. She does not need to relive it, explain it, or be dragged into its resurgence. In the media, silence can sometimes be louder than a press conference. Rihanna's decision not to comment serves as an implicit message that she is no longer tethered to Chris Brown's chaos. That her voice, once silenced by pain, now chooses when, and if, it wants to speak. That she will not be the emotional anchor for someone else's downward spiral. It also sets a powerful example for survivors everywhere. It reminds us that healing looks different for everyone, and that protecting one's peace doesn't always come with a hashtag or a headline. Sometimes the greatest strength lies in restraint. Sometimes the best message is none at all. The ongoing fascination with Rihanna and Chris Brown's past says as much about society as it does about them. We struggle with the idea that people, especially women, can move on, can thrive, and can redefine themselves beyond the trauma they've experienced. There's a voyeuristic tendency to reopen old wounds, to demand that survivors continually relive their pain for public consumption. But Rihanna's silence is an act of rebellion against that demand. It is a boundary drawn in bold, invisible ink. While the world buzzes around Chris Brown's latest troubles, Rihanna stays quiet, and in doing so, she says everything. She is not interested in re-entering a conversation rooted in her past pain. She is not a spokesperson for someone else's missteps. She is not your soundbite. Instead, she stands, silent but unshaken, on higher ground, where peace, power, and purpose reside. And in that silence, her voice is louder than ever. Thanks for watching and see you guys on the next video.